All right, I'm back today after not really filming much or doing much over the past couple of weeks after the paint, because I haven't really focused on one thing, you know, like making a video about like one thing. I've done little things like I did these front brakes. Obviously the brakes were locked when I got it, so I did these front brakes. They weren't locked, I just redid them. Boring. I put roof rack on the top. I've got the front end all done here, but what I'm starting today is the main process of getting it running, because I've got to get it out and into the other bay to put it up on the hoist to do the underneath. But this actually started quite a long time ago when I first got it. I first got it and went to obviously start it up, obviously as you would, but I had a lot of issues with doing that. I've got it all filmed and that'll be the start of this video, but I had heaps and heaps of issues doing that electrical stuff, but I just thought I'll move on, because if I just kept on trying to do that, I would never get it finished. But now I've got to the point where there's a lot of stuff, it has to be at that point now, because I've got to move it out, get it into that other bay. So now I'm actually starting. What I just did is I took the dash out because it was really, really bad. Should make it a bit easier because there's electrical issues. That's what's stopping it. Now I'm going to show you from the start of the process. Hopefully that'll fill you in up until now, which I'm starting to do. Rightio. Back on it with the lights. Okay, so another day on it. We are back on the 60 series here. As you can see, after we got it in the shed on the last episode, this is actually the day after. So I went out and I bought a few things. I'll go get them now actually. All right, so here's what we got. We got our oil here, oil filter, air filter, and a drain plug with a sump washer. There we go. And we'll get onto the filter. Tell you what though, that oil did look pretty good. I'll have a look when it's in the pan, but nothing bad about that oil. There's our oil filter down there. Get the biggest wrench for that one. That should do it. Here she is. You can see it's definitely an old one. It's been on there for a while. Basically just black oil. Fine, better than metallic oil, better than silver oil, better than milkshake. Now I've got to chuck the new oil in and the new oil filter. That's right, this has a bonnet release. Here we go. Here is our battery. I'll take that out, take it over, and hopefully it will start up our car. Got that bad boy hooked up there, charging it up. 11 litres. Drain and refill with filter 9.7 litres. So I'm gonna put all 10 litres that I bought in there. Give it that extra nice, you know, good stuff that we're looking for. Here we go. Oil filter. Ready for this? How good's that? On the phone cam, cleaned up that spot for the new oil filter pretty well. It was nice and black in there. Now it's all good and clean. Look at that. How good's that? Bit sort of slimy in there. All right, in we go. Chuck our caparoni back on there and quick little wipe off. Got to check on fuel now. Okay, so I've had the battery going for quite a few hours now. It's now quite late in the afternoon-ish, sort of actually. I came back down here and I've actually just put the terminals on here, positive and negative. So let's see if it works. I think the hazards should work. Oh, see them on the dash there? How good's that? Got 1, 2, 3, 4, all the fronts working. Back one's working, and our last back one on the other side. All the indicators are working. It's amazing. What else we got? Let's try lights. Ooh, look at that. The dash lit up. Lights are working. That's amazing. How good's that? Well, now we know that the battery works. Can I, oh, I can do high beams from there as well. Wonder if this horn works. Oh, it's very sticky. All right, just got some of this tube and a couple of spanners, and I'm going to put this on the fuel bleeder right here and try and see if we've got fuel. Got that bleeder cracked open, and now I'm going to go and crank it. Never mind. We've got a loud glow plug issue. It's the exact same sound I had when I first went to start my 80 series. Isn't that interesting? Now, the reason that happened, the last time I heard that sound, is because the glow plugs were wired up incorrectly. I'm thinking maybe I should just disconnect the glow plugs altogether, because don't need them because I'm not actually going to be starting it, I'm just cranking it. So I'm going to do that and see how it goes. Okay, so it has been pouring down rain today. Today is Friday. Bit of a gap in time. What actually happened? Obviously, as you saw, went to start it up, had that clicking noise. I knew it was coming from the glow plug. I'd had it happen to me before. I've heard that exact same sound. So I knew something was up with the wiring on the glow plug. I thought that clicking noise was coming from the relays down here, but I unplugged both the relays and it turns out it's not. So I'm not actually sure where the clicking noise comes from, but it comes from somewhere. So I went through a big long process of elimination, I guess, or trying to figure it out. As you see, we've got tools everywhere, been under the car. Then I unplugged, there's this little plug down in there, and I unplugged that plug and it stopped. So the reason for it is there's something positively charging that glow plug rail, or something positively charging the engine, and it's like shorting out. I don't know what it is, and I've looked through everything I could. I've still got to do a lot of looking, but it's like, seriously, like, I don't know. I have no idea. Okay, so this is back today, working on it. What we're doing first is installing this oil pressure gauge here, because there is one in there, but it doesn't work. This is one that goes, it threads into the factory oil pressure gauge, the oil pressure sender, and then it goes up to the gauge. I've got the mounting thing for it, and importantly, this gauge adapter, because very interesting with these. This is the exact same thing I have in my 80 series. Thread on these SAAS gauges and most gauges will almost always be 1/8 NPT. The thread in the block is 1/8 BSPT, I'm pretty sure is what it is. So this just does, this is the BSPT thread that goes into the block, and there's a hole there, which is 1/8 NPT, and a hole there that's 1/8 NPT. So you can screw the factory one in there and the SAAS one in the side there. This is just so I can be sure that it has oil pressure, because the factory gauge and that aftermarket gauge doesn't show anything. First off, I'm going to take off a few things from the engine bay here. Down under there is the oil pressure sender unit. There's the old one, bit of oil on it. Here's the adapter piece. So that is the adapter piece in there. Now I'm just going to head on to the wiring here. Going to mount the gauge up. That's sort of the view from driving. I didn't really know where to put it because I don't have the dash in. So I might have to move it up or down a bit, but I'm pretty sure that'll work pretty well. I don't want it too high up. Anyway, more importantly, this is the old oil pressure gauge down here. What's good is this, all of the wiring down here, all of this wiring here. So this is the SAAS gauge here, and this is all the wiring out here. So this has illumination, battery, and should have a few other things, so I can just take straight from here. It's already got a ground point right there, so I'm just gonna cut into all that. So all I need to do is the stuff for the actual sender unit. Here they are, just here, and I just have to attach them at the back into there. That's got the ground as well, so it all goes through there, and I'll just clean them up a bit and that'll be good. So that's where I'm going to stop today. We're getting pretty close to getting this thing started. As you can see there, charging up the battery, getting it ready. I don't have a new battery, I'm just working with old batteries, so it'll be pretty hard to start up and to see, you know, if that glow system works and all that. But this is basically the next task after, you know, I've got to roll it out. Before that, I do have to obviously get the brakes. All the brakes are completely, they have no fluid in them. They're completely new. Attach and bleed all the brakes. The next one, I will hopefully be starting it up. So I will see you then, hopefully with a running 2H 60 series.